peace be with you. We are Cat and Tat over on All Ages of Geek. And as you may know, if we've been teasing this for a few months, we are doing reactions to Critical Role.
Wow!
So
campaign 2!
We're starting with campaign number 2 because you guys were very specific on what we should be doing. I'm curious in terms of like how this is going to go down because it has been like long in the waiting, and we just finished Vox. We get addicted to Vox, and now that we're going to be doing campaign number 2, we're also going to be learning more about D&D. Now, we knew a little bit about D&D thanks to a few people, but we actually want to learn even more before we do anything serious with D&D. So I feel like the best way to actually learn and or, experience D&D is by watching, but also doing.
Watching the pros.
Watching how people do it, but also at the same time doing it your own way, because it's just like editing in Premiere Pro. It's like you want to make these mistakes and you learn from them. You throw yourself in the pit of hell, and then you try to crawl yourself back out, and you're like, okay, so this is how we're going to learn. So when it comes to this, thank you guys so much for kind of like letting us know how we're going to be doing it, watching it, so forth. And are we watching it in specific so people know?
Okay, so basically how each week, for now it's going to be once a week until eventually, it may be twice a week, but that's a whole other conversation for a different day. But basically how we're doing it is when they take their break, that's where the first episode will stop for us. And then we'll have a discussion, and then we'll finish the next same video the next week over. So I know for this one, it stops at like 1:32 when they have their break. So we'll do an hour and 32 minutes for this episode, have a discussion, and then the week over, we'll finish this actual episode.
Now we're watching it full speed?
Full speed. It's going to be normal speed, because I know a lot of you were like, don't do fast speed, which is fine. Yeah. We're just going to have it regular, but we're going to do the cut half episodes just because time... it's like 4 hours. That's a lot of filming. Sitting down for 4 hours is a lot. So we're doing the half episodes, and then it's going to be cut in half for YouTube, but for Patrons, we're going to have the full reactions on Patreon. So if you are interested in seeing our full reaction and full discussion, definitely check us out there. Yeah, and if you guys want to follow along, the link will be in the description where you can find the original. How this is all going to go is we have Vegeta here. Hi,
He
Vegeta.
likes to take center stage over all our reactions.
Because he is Vegeta.
He's Vegeta, and you know. Yeah, exactly. And he's going to be here, so it covers it up a bit. But it'll be enough for you guys to follow along to know where we are. And there's also going to be like an audio type cue, like sync up. But also, speaking of reactions, I know we're doing some like announcements right now, but if you are new and you don't know what we do, we have thousands and thousands of hours worth of content over on our Patreon. What we want to do is we kind of produce this content to make it for anyone who is lonely, anyone who doesn't have a friend to watch certain things with, and you could ask anyone in our audience. We're very loud, very crazy, and we try to contain ourselves.
Yeah, we recently made like a spreadsheet with all of the anime and stuff we're reacting to. Shout out to Dark Matter for keeping in touch with that. But apparently we're doing like over 32 series currently.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you think of a series, we're probably reacting to it. There's 32 of them.
Recent? No.
So I didn't even know that either. So like, there's a lot. So if you are like, hey, maybe they're reacting to this anime or this show, we probably are. And if we aren't, you can become a higher tier and recommend.
So basically, how it is, every week we have like 6 shows that we mainly do, and then throughout the month we sprinkle in extras for those of you who did recommend. I had no idea it was 32 series.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm like freaked out right now because I don't even know how much we do. But our reality is just doing reactions with you guys, because like same thing with Critical Role. We want to go into the world that Matt Mercer is creating and kind of in a way analyze it and take it in, because for us, when we take media in, we don't go in just for the story, we go in for the characters, and that's what makes it really special, because for us, when it comes to characters, we treat them like they are real life people. BBs. And if you see, you can watch our Vox videos, how like attached we get to everybody, like poor Percy, but like how it is just that's how we go into analysis. So if that's something that is your cup of tea, we hope you stick around and you subscribe and you follow us on this journey, because this is over like 300 to 400 hours.
It's gonna be years of us.
So we're here for years. So hi, we're gonna be seeing
also join our Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing Matt and everybody else every single week, because this is a weekly type thing we're gonna be doing. So
hi guys,
come join in the journey with us.
Yeah.
Peace be with you, and God bless if you follow along with us since episode number 1. Anyway, so here we go. I'm very excited. Let's get started.
I'm scared.
Do not fall. Do not fall. Hello.
Hello.
Tonight's episode of Critical Role. So a bunch of us here to ask what exactly. I think we're ready for it. So, as we bring it down, guys, let's go ahead and prepare to dive in
Oh no.
to the new year and the new campaign for this episode of Critical Role.
The face. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What is happening?
No.
Stop.
Wait.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh my god!
Oh.
He would be the one.
Yeah.
He would be. But he takes it. Oh my god. Oh, Ashley! So cute! Oh no. No, shut up.
Stop.
Oh my god,
Stop.
no!
Perfect. He is literally perfect.
His eyes!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh. This is so cute. Oh
His
my
glasses.
God. Stop.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so cute.
I swear to God, Sam.
I know.
Sam's the
I
one
know.
that just steals the show.
It's so cute.
Oh, I'm so excited to know who the characters are.
And welcome back. You've definitely returned to the table. Thank you, sir. So.
Wait, super fast, we gotta go through credits.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay, so normally we don't do this. I did this once before when we released our first other opening title sequence. Yeah, 50th. So we're gonna do this again. These are just people who who do so much and who do not get enough love, to shout them out.
Aww.
Oh, wow.
The unsung hero, Geek and Sundry.
Oh my god, good for her.
TJ Rotel, he's like our production manager around here. He makes sure
Look at that.
cameras. Maxwell James, producer that makes this show go every week. Danny Carr, our production coordinator, huge producer here. Steve Sprinkles, who directed that amazing.
That's not a real name.
On the slate, it always says Sprinkles. Jan Michael Lasada, who was our DP and is the same DP from last time. Tristan Savage Tate, who's our first
See,
AC.
this matters.
Yes.
John Della Hunt, who is our
Especially because it's the first thing you
Yeah,
hear.
yep.
Too.
Tyler Hart, who is our gaffer, who's got gaffed everything around here. Jenny Newman, who's wardrobe.
It's a little detail, but it's like, I do the same thing when you lick your fingers, you go for paper.
Yeah.
Hair and makeup artist Vanessa Rodriguez, who is our second hair and makeup artist.
Aw.
Got Posey Sosa, who is our production assistant. Selena Ruth. I know. Selena Ruth, who did intentional photography, and she also does stuff every day. Because I didn't know this would do this many. Brandon Clark, who is our location manager.
Oh my god.
Pamela Joy, who shot all of it.
Aw.
And Loretta Richards.
Photography, and they did all of our thumbnails too. They did that poster. Go check them out as well.
Oh.
They're so
Charles
nice.
Miller, who does our music. Sean Hudson, who does our post-production. And Andy England, who edited.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, editing?
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge thing you want to
Yeah.
give credit to.
What a night. Well, guys.
He's like, let's
Like,
start.
come.
Everyone.
Oh, no.
Everyone.
Everyone. Okay.
Welcome to Wildlands. Northward, you would find the Graying Wildlands, a lawless realm harboring a curse that has kept it unconquered by human hands.
Ooh.
However, this story begins in the territory of Western Wyoming, within the boundaries of the Gwendolian Empire. Emerging 13 generations before, the Gwendolian Empire has slowly spread to encompass the surrounding societies of the region, absorbing the peoples of the Zemni fields in the narrow valley, before finally conquering the Julius Dominion and taking the whole of Western Wyoming for the Empire. This is under the rule of the current King Bertrand Dwenger, now in his 68th year,
Ooh.
most are left to their own devices. You live as you did before. The crown takes a tithe of what you produce and earn. You follow its laws, worship its gods, and bow to its installed local leadership.
You know there's going to be a problem with this.
Oh yeah.
The Empire are protected from their chaotic horrors and shattered evils that stalk the edges of the civilized lands. This accord has led to a prosperous century for the Empire, or at least a political elite. Tensions grew beneath the chafing watch of the Crown's Guard. Every temple is government-owned and run, and worship outside the approved idolatry is met with imprisonment. Rumors of military clashes at the eastern border near Jorhas have many common thought on edge. Our story, a handful of wandering destinies slowly on the day of
I'm so curious who's going to start
It's the early hours of the morning.
floor of the nestled neck. If you would like to describe the character.
If there's any follow-alongs, like printables, I would love to have that with us. Oh no. Look at them!
No. They're so cute.
I'm pretty filthy cooked, but I slept in. I slept about 20 hours.
How many hours?
Geez, unshaven, a bit of a mess. So far you're just talking
What
about
color
currently
are
on
your
the
eyes?
What color are your eyes?
That's it. It was a rough day.
Oh!
That's it. Oh, Caleb Widogast.
As your small friend curls away, Sam, let's describe your face.
You know.
I am a little goblin girl.
I'm a little goblin girl.
I am a goblin.
I'm a goblin.
Oh my god, I love him.
The green hair, the yellow eyes.
The yellow eyes.
And she wears not great clothes, just like her traveling companion there. She kind of hides in the shadows a lot because she knows goblins aren't welcome in this part.
No.
And that's about it. She's a little skittish.
She's a little skittish.
And right now she's.
Now, question: did they do their character sheets beforehand, or are they gonna do them per?
I don't think there's a session 0 from what people told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just make up as they go.
But I think they did it.
Or they did before.
beforehand,
Okay.
You can see slowly snoring and rousing at about the same time. Knott's eyes blink open, her slowly groaning face looking over towards you.
Oh, you're finally awake, I see. Oh yeah, motherfuckers. It's on.
It's on.
You were out for quite some time there.
Look at them.
Oh, yeah. Not our best day.
Look at her.
I mean, usually just so good at everything, but yesterday you were maybe you needed the sleep. It's what you needed. Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
don't thank me yet. I should probably
Where's your mom?
what happened while you were asleep.
I know.
I mean, you were asleep for so long, I got bored.
Oh no!
Going through my pack and reorganizing. Has anybody seen you? Well, I mean, many people.
Oh no.
I got bored.
I got bored.
So I left. I went downstairs. I thought I'd do a bit of window shopping, and you know how sometimes I get the itch, you know.
Jesus Christ.
Did you make it back here at night? I'm here all the time. There you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I might have been spotted by a few of the crown's guard.
Oh my god.
No,
No.
I didn't. But they didn't catch me. So, I'm sorry. I just sometimes I get the urge. I have to take something, you know.
I get the urge.
That's what you lost yesterday, and I think we discussed coming to a bigger town.
Oh no.
It's going to be a little more difficult now. You can't go. It was easier on outskirts. It was easy in farms, but you can't do that here. I know. I'm sorry. No, I know. You're right. Yep. It was. I just got a little bit, squiggly. That's all.
Squiggly. I got a little squiggly.
Well, I think today.
Their reactions make it.
Yeah.
It's better when we're working together. If you're going, you need to steal something. Do it with my help, all right?
Do it with my help.
Of course.
You guys stealing addiction?
Back up the conversation and thank you, because I would not be alive if you had not. You saved my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yesterday was really not great. Yeah, well, we'll do better today, right?
Sure.
At this point, you notice the gentle smell of cooked meats and the promises of medium porridge and eggs just barely being
I'm hungry now, Matt. Why you gotta do this to me?
floor of your room and meet your nostrils.
Well, Mark, what are we going to do today? I can go down and get breakfast and bring it up here. At least, I don't know, I'm a little wary of just splashing back into town right away.
Let's go down and get some food. I'll come with you, because, as you said, we're better together. And we'll take it from there. You
The
need
voice
some
is perfect.
snacks, right?
Uh,
All right. That's on the to-do list.
All right, well, let's get something to eat then.
Alright, so you prepare yourself with your mask set over.
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna I have a like a half a mask that kind of covers my goblin face, and with the hood over.
Aw.
Maybe it's not a goblin. Maybe it's a little halfling person or something.
Which is helpful in the southern, more rural region of the empire, especially near Felderwood, which is one of the largest kind of tilling and farming areas of the entire empire. It's a very heavy halfling population. And so while this city is not the core of it, let's say you probably see a larger 20 to 25% of the population here trusting what is happening. So you pass off pretty
So
decently as long as you keep
she's safe.
away from discerning intent eyes.
I want to see like art of each of them.
Oh, there's probably so much
Yeah.
fan art.
You tuck forward down to the base of the tavern,
I know.
which the air is already bustling with townsfolk and all manner of travelers preparing to take on the day's responsibilities. Yorda, the 40-something woman barkeep with the shoulder-length blonde hair and weathered skin that you had previously rented your room in from, frantically darts behind the bar while the red-headed barmaid rushes from table to table. It seems that the clientele is a bit more than they were expecting this morning. Yorda yells from behind the bar to the barkeep, "Adeline, 2 more brats."
Okay, see his hand. Look at the different.
I'm working on it! And she runs back to the kitchen, playing a bit of music as 2 kind of slovenly looking musicians in the corner are trying to work the tips with a small hat on the floor that looks like nobody's throwing any point into it. But the tables are fairly busy.
I like how it pays attention to a lot of detail.
Available to you guys.
Sure, is that easy to do? Find a seat?
Yeah, if you walk over to it, it's okay.
What do we roll for?
They're all for.
You sit down, and due to the chaos that ensues around you, it takes a little while for Adeline, the red-headed barmaid, to come by, and she kind of scoots by the table. I'm terribly sorry.
If you have it, but if you don't, that's okay too.
Oh my god.
Or if it's on the menu, but really anything.
It's all 3. It's fine. What you want?
A trust for each of us, please.
For breakfast?
Yes.
I like you.
I like you.
And a bunch of meats. Right back. And she rushes off. She kind of pulls her hair back and turns it as she goes into the kitchen, kind of getting ready for the midst of chaos. While you guys have a moment there at the table, you can hear conversation muttering around you, and you have a brief bit of privacy to discuss.
Yes, I mean, it's true, but did you find a drink yesterday?
I have a little left in my flask.
How much?
Just a couple sweets.
So that's also on the to-do list.
Cracking up.
You get too jittery, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that first, okay?
Short time passes before the 2 platters are rushed over and scattered across the front of your table with a clattering pile of meats that are set for you. A little bit placed on the side because you might need, especially with the look on your face, the Adeline kind of gives you a glance. Just put something, goes back and slides to...
They also give like their characters like their expressions when you tell them just to get into the part. Oh my god, I like that.
Stop. He's literally perfect.
Oh.
As you guys are partway through your meal, Caleb.
It's cute because I think there's snacks in those.
A gentleman entered the door looking kind of meek. Middle age, looks work-hardened. He has kind of a heavy chin beard that's kind of unkept and a bit wild, but his eyes are warm. He's holding his hat in his grip. And he scans the room with an eager glance before his face brightens and begins to push his way across the room, kind of in your direction, it looks like. He scoots over towards your table and is about to turn and kind of see what he's about.
He's curious why somebody's sitting down next to them.
He turns to you three.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
We've just been sitting here this whole time.
Yeah. You've met this man the day before. The non-official man who aided. And as he approaches, he goes, "You, might I sit, please?"
His voice.
And as he sits down in his chair, I would ask each of you to please describe yourselves, please, starting with you.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm just, a little blue tiefling. That's with blue hair. And, I'm wearing like a pretty cute dress. And
She's so cute.
I'm having a good time, we're just having a good time here at Brooklyn.
Stop.
And you.
Yeah.
Simple girl, just wearing like kind of nice baggy clothes and monk benches. They're in kind of like nice blues and grays, some blue sash around my belt. Got a nice shave kind of going on, a little under. Looks like maybe I put on makeup like 2 days ago, and I'm like,
2 days
I can work with that.
I can work with that.
And thank you. And Travis, describe yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Stop. The voices are so good.
That beard too.
I'm a half-orc. Sitting here and kind of beat up blenders.
Stop.
Skin tone.
And,
kind of got some like piecemeal armor put together.
So.
Hunter's forward.
You're very handsome. I just need to tell you that.
Oh.
Which is, as Ronaldo sits down, clutching his hat still in his hands, says, "Thank you for your time, forward." And I apologize, I forget your names. Beauregard.
Jester.
Jester, thank you.
What is he doing?
Is he okay? Is he good?
Because of you, my daughter.
Yeah, sorry. Not kind of forgetting about the pessimistic asshole. By the way, I'm the first one in town.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm not used to things like turning up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't keep you, because I spoke yesterday and I didn't have much to give you. Sent you away with nothing but my gratitude. But I've been asking around the other fishermen in our locksmith, and we've put together a little bit of coin for each other. So on the
They're like, oh my god, yeah, give.
on the table, and this catches your attention. You hear this clattering of coin.
Oh.
Your eyes kind of glance over, especially you now. And watch as he leaves this pile of, it looks to be mostly copper and silver pieces, with a couple of glimmers of gold. And as soon as it
There's a catches in there.
across the hardwood table here in the center of the tavern, other faces begin to turn.
Oh, shit.
That's concerning.
Attention to what's happening over here in the back edge, and kind of takes this cat back and pushes it forward towards all of you. It's kind of dirty. You can see cracked and very, very calloused fingers kind of shoving it in your direction before taking his hat and placing it back over his
Because everyone else in the sees it, you know.
all over the table. The table. I hope it's helpful. But thank you.
Yeah. Oh wait,
You can't expect this, right? I mean, it's too much.
we're supposed to like at least say
You're supposed to do it, you said.
Well, I mean, he did go around to a bunch of people. That was a lot of work on his part. Make him go back to all of those people and give it
Stop.
back.
Sing with his mouth.
If you didn't keep a ledger, we don't want to do that. It's rude not to accept a gift, right?
Anyway, thank you very much. I'm sorry for...
Look at her. Look at her.
He stands up and gives you all a nod and kind of rushes out of the tavern, a little embarrassed by the attention that's now placed on the patrons as he leaves.
Yeah, that's also concerning for him because leaving and then think how much money he has.
Starting to count what coins are there as you slowly knit them in your direction.
Okay. How much?
There are 4 gold pieces amongst the pile, 22 silver, and 48 copper pieces.
Damn.
How many?
48 copper.
Is this the first roll?
First roll of campaign.
Oh, yay.
Natural 20.
Oh!
Fucking way. Are you fucking serious? How?
That's the first freaking roll.
All right.
So I'm needing you to do that counting, which is really hard for me personally. But how do you split up 4 gold? We have 4 gold and there's only 3.
Well, I actually did pretty good at that card. So you can have mine. Yeah.
I will. Okay.
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 Oh, that's a good one for you. 2 for me.
2 for me.
No, wait. Does that make sense?
She's your treasurer? Hey, man.
It's hard not being treasurer. I mean, 2 to jester.
Sweet.
1 for you, 1 for me.
Thanks.
And then 22 silver. That's.
I don't know.
Get a calculator.
Yeah.
This guy.
It's not the iPad, but
Figuring out the division of your gains.
of your gains.
You glance about. You're narrowing your orcish eyes across the room, and you can see 2 other tables. There are some gentlemen who are peeking over, and as soon as they meet your gaze, they go right back to their business and completely shrink away. There are 2 gentlemen, or I'll say there's a man.
You know, when you lock eyes with somebody, it could be awkward, but if it's like they kind of stare back at you, you're like, what's going on?
The man looks rather filthy, his hair a bit unkempt, and he's trying to just finish his drink. However, the smaller, kind of half-looking figure is just glaring intently and is slowly leaning in the direction
That's
of the
creepy.
table.
That's creepy.
Yeah, like,
Disgusting. I think we have people watching us.
Yeah.
But just take a look right over there.
Don't allow suspicion. But did you hear all that coin hit that table, Amy?
oh no.
It's on the table though, so I think on the table it will stay.
I think on the table it will stay.
We could do the money pot. We could run rat food. We could do
Oh my God.
in the pauper to get it from him. We could try spider eyes. Any of those could work to get it.
Oh my God.
This tiefling leans over between you and the table.
7 silver for you.
Tieflings can only see movement.
I don't think
It's
that's
very
true.
true. We have a hard time seeing things that aren't happening. It's very true.
It's very true.
You should take a bath. You know they have showers.
Oh!
You bathe yourself in water.
I've made this before, yeah, I know what the back is.
It's not evil for this direction.
Oh my God.
You know, I would hate if I smelled that bad and someone from telling me.
I just met you.
Hi, I'm just
Oh!
Hi, Aaron.
I can see it. I can let me see it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How much silver did I just get?
7.
The dynamics are so good.
Aren't you all jealous?
Oh my God.
Morning. Morning. Morning.
Perception check. Beauregard and Jester.
Whoa.
Are you checking the D&D Beyond specs?
I am. I'm having my
22.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked over my character sheet yet. Crazy. 19.
Okay. The somewhat meek female halfling who is constantly very reserved and not as filthy as the human compatriot that she keeps, seems less and less halfling the more you glance in her direction.
Oh no.
The ears are folded inward but elongated, the tinges of green in the skin, and with the little wards that have poked through her lips, you can see that the teeth more jagged than expected. The half open.
I just shout over and I say, "Good morning," in Halfling.
I know Halfling, right? Yes. So I'll shout back. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
I really like them.
I really like them.
It's fine. I'm not that concerned. Eat whatever you want. I'll have bacon and whatever.
All right, pork is right back. She rushes off the kitchen. You guys continue to awkwardly stare at each other.
I'm gonna put my hand up and say quietly to Mom, the mom is not for them. It's not for them, it's for us. Okay. Yeah, you're right, you're right.
No. Yeah.
Your perception rolls earlier, yes.
But I said it really quietly.
She rolled a 22.
But she can hear my little whisper. I mean, I get.
Oh, you heard the whisper. You're not sure what the words are.
Okay.
You
But I can see
can
that
see that they're
that's
whispering.
They're about us.
Being mysterious.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
In Halfling, I'll say to whatever, Bo.
Well,
Uh,
I'm sure it works.
Are you in town for business or pleasure?
Can I insert check on suicide?
Inside check.
Okay, what's my
Oh.
What are you saying? I mean, you are a girl. What are she saying? That's really I remember now.
You're asking me what I'm
And
saying.
what did you say?
13.
13? I mean, seems to be genuine, hard to read through all the wrappings shadowing the hood, still obscuring the face.
Are you cold?
Oh, you got the tip of mask on?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this kind of porcelain covering that has
Like imagine something coming up to you suddenly.
it's a little unsettling.
I mean, I'm sorry, not to be blunt, but you know, it's pretty obvious. Darwin's not walking, strolling about.
No.
Yeah, but you don't have to make a big thing of it, all right?
Aww.
That's right. She's my companion. She's my friend.
Oh.
There's nothing to make a big deal about. It's just, that's what she's like. Just leave it at this.
I did not squash you like that.
I know, we're not making a big deal out of it. We're making a big deal.
Oh my god.
No, nobody asked.
Somebody said the words, Liam. Why are you all wrapped up?
I asked if she was cold.
That's concern. That's concern.
As Killa finishes oversharing,
They're a mess.
There's old times, man. There's a different universe, and I'm like,
at this point, there is a bit of a commotion towards the entrance of the tavern. Two shadows step into the doorway, the nearish noonday sun. The figures, one kind of eclipsing the other from behind, begin to step in. You notice one of them begins to step from table
What kind of
to
snacks do
table,
they have?
I
I need to know.
Grace to movement. The other staying a few feet behind. Housekeeper.
Oh.
Neither did I. But here we are. A lavender tiefling with red eyes.
Oh.
Curled, very pierced, extremely ostentatious horns that are just pierced with little gems and little baubles. He's got a tattoo that seems to be running up the side of his face, a kind of peacock tattoo that goes off into his very ostentatious, ridiculous, overblown robes that he wears, and his two swords
Ooh.
kind of standing at the side of his face.
He's so good with description.
Very, very broad in his.
Literal and figurative peacock.
Yeah, I know. Mine. As this tiefling grabs some table to table a few feet behind you, see.
Did you say
I didn't say no.
Okay,
So there is a woman behind him, taller than your average lass.
Lass?
She's very, very, very pale skin. She has, her hair is black, that starts to turn white as it gets longer. It's matted, it's dreaded, it's braided. Her clothes are a bit tattered, but just sort of, she's a bit of a mess.
She's a bit of a mess.
She has 2 different color eyes.
Oh.
One of them is sort of a light greenish blue, and the other is a violet color.
Nice.
And she's very sort of very standoffish, punchy, arms folded.
You watch as these figures slowly move from table to table, the tiefling engaging in some conversation, and then leaving a slip of paper, and then walking to the next table, gauging the atmosphere, not leaving a slip of paper, and quickly moving on. And eventually, your eyes meet what looks to be 2 tables with a very motley crew of individuals that are both kind of awkwardly avoiding their own tension and currently trying to figure you out.
Can I tell where are they in the dispensement of the coin? Can I tell they have a little coin on them? Do they
No.
catch any of that?
They've completed distributing it, so you don't see any coin, unfortunately.
Well, I don't believe I've ever seen a group of people more in need of a good time in my entire life. Well, not Tiefling.
Okay.
I'll be fetching the moondrap traveling carnival of curiosities. If
Oh,
there's ever a group of people that needed a good time to go out, have a laugh, see things that you've never seen before.
oh my god.
And my God, take my word for it, 1 month's time, people will be buying your ale.
Oh.
You saw at Traveling Carnival of Curiosities. Yes.
It's going up.
Yes, you did.
We did.
We're actually going to go without the flyer. But like, now we also have a flyer.
Yeah.
Steel, it's a 5 silver, it would be a steal, 5 gold, worth every but if you got the 5 copper to spend, we would happily have you all.
Do you perform?
I'm less of a performer and more of an intermediary for these parts. I do on occasion perform. I can read fortune.
I was going to ask if you
Oh my god.
Can you do one now?
Can you do one now?
You're so smart.
Oh, she's gonna get into trouble.
Yeah.
She's gonna get
I'm going to
lost.
sit down at the table.
Oh my god. This is so chaotic.
He sits down at this table, finishing his presentation. One of the barmaids kind of comes up to you and looks up. You're standing almost a solid 7 inches taller than her. As I was, oh, yes, can I get you a drink?
Yes, I have a drink, please, just now.
Preferences still down this? Bumble?
Stay clear of Bomba. They're big.
Just a big.
How's the door set?
Yeah.
All right, you're all right. And she wanders off.
Well, who has coin for a fortune?
Do you know my name?
What is your name?
Jester.
I know your name now.
Stop.
Oh, my name is Molly and my friends, and we're friends now, aren't we?
Oh my god.
Molly. Look at this guy.
Molly, Molly.
Look at this guy.
This is Yasha, she's the charm.
Hi, Yasha.
Now, would anyone like a fortune?
I would love one.
You have coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
2 copper.
2 copper. Okay, I just.
Oh my god, she's a mess.
Like down to 2 copper.
Oh no.
Just
I feel like
everyone's money.
as it goes on, Jester's
Jester's
gonna get
be-
lost.
Yeah.
She's gonna wander.
Try and do this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, really?
So, as he pulls out a small set of cards and begins to shuffle over the table.
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll it.
He's really quite good. You all should line up and get your fortune sold.
Let's do a 16. Okay, so you get a brief conversation. You get a pretty solid read. The excitability, the eagerness, the exorbitant interest in just getting in your face. If this person wants any fortune to tell or accomplish advice. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check as well.
Also
14.
And you feel pretty confident that her eyes are locked onto your eyes at the moment and off the deck as you set up a proper reading. And the cards are shuffled, they're set, you place them before you, and you make your decision.
Trying to just keep my eye open for any tricks of like handies, like
Your perception check, right?
14.
14. Alright, everything seems pretty above board.
The first card, the Silver Dragon. This is good. You're a virtue, you are a worthwhile, wonderful human being, obviously, or creature of some repute.
That's what everyone always tells me.
Oh my god.
Heading towards the Anvil. And there's a destiny forged.
Oh.
Bright and adventurous in your future.
Wow.
Oh wow.
You know, we did just defeat a really big snake, so maybe there's even bigger things coming up.
Yeah.
Can I make another roll?
Sure.
Actually, I confirmed worst hype man ever.
19. Yeah, easy enough. Even discerning eyes at the table, you are at the top of your game.
The serpent card appears. Of course it did.
Oh my gosh! How did you even do
I
that?
solve cards. I'm just simply a vessel. The higher powers.
The Harbors.
While everybody's watching this shit happen, may I cast detect magic?
You kind of lean back and subtly begin a brief muttering of an incantation. Your fingers kind of wash through the air with a faint silver gleam across your fingertips. Nothing magical shows up in the immediate vicinity.
Really? You left the cards if I'm going to find them.
But if you're going to find it,
Him.
give me a little bit more. Who is this him that you're looking for?
Oh my god.
Oh my dad.
14.
You fumble for a second, but the card still finds its way through that issue.
Pushing through. The higher card pulls up. You've already found the clue you're looking for, you just don't know what it is yet. Right? Oh, that's what the cards are saying. It's right in front of you.
So I like when characters have to look for somebody.
Sadly, I don't have that sort of specifics.
Oh, gee.
It's a lot worse.
Well, at the show, you'll find my tent, and I'm happy to give you a more complicated view.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
So much fun.
Josh, at this point, the barmaid comes up and hands you the ordered ale.
Thank you, my lady.
On the house.
On the house. It is our good fortune.
Do you join the circus too?
No, I do not. I just, I put it up.
I put it up.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. It's a big tent. Take a lot of work.
I put up the stage, I move things around. I'm very strong. But I don't do anything really.
Some of our acts are complicated with performers who are not the traditional variety. Can make some of the locals get a little shifty, you know, and it's good to have a few people around who are capable of keeping issues contained.
There's no admittance to the elderly.
Oh,
No
yes.
idea what the
What?
or the ill. Yeah.
Ah.
I know elderly, ill kind of makes sense, but elderly.
We can't be held responsible for anything that might happen to someone who's ill or infirm. It is such an exciting.
Why? There's what is the catch?
Watching
I trust no one.
Yeah, it's not exciting. It's from excitement.
Wait, did that in the show or from watching?
Yeah, just like heart attack. Just from getting so
It can
excited.
be a
I guess.
lot.
It's a lot.
We gotta just say
When is it? How long is it? When is it?
When is it?
It is actually the day of Kristen, and your first show is tonight. It's
Our show is tonight.
Well, we have plans tonight.
Oh my god.
You stinky people want to come with us?
You stinky people.
Katie, what, we don't have any plans tonight. I guess we could go along. I wouldn't mind seeing.
Or you could stay here and buy beer for the people who do see the show, so that you can hear all about it. Pay more. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it sounds like a good night. Yeah.
Look at all these friends we're making here. This is
Yeah, you're gonna trust
Yeah,
someone
it's gonna
wrong
go
one day.
Bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You are all the most charming
time to
And
finish
yes.
my beer. Well, we better be getting on.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Oh, you're so wonderful.
Charm, pure charm. See you guys.
Oh my god.
And as they leave you, Yasha just downs her entire ale, slams on the table, and both of them walk out, passing a couple more flyers and off tables, and then exits out into the rest of the day's sun beyond your sight.
Aww.
You didn't say much.
That's why I liked you.
That's why I liked her.
Did you see that cool thing she had going on in the action? That's interesting. I wish I would have thought of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe do something like that in time. Just like wait till maybe.
She doesn't know that topic. I can't
Oh my
believe
god.
it.
Wow.
Cool. What do you guys want to do now?
Was he using magic?
I don't know. Are you? You're superstitious. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
No, what's superstitious? No.
Sure.
Why?
I mean, you. Like kind of what he was working in was kind of like you were kind of like little shit. Like he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy.
No, not yet, no.
You should go open it. Like,
Right now? Okay, I'll be right back.
go grab the bag.
I'll do it on the break. I'll get them.
Hey, Matt,
Yes?
Dungeon Master.
Dungeon
Are
Master.
they're wearing what they described. They're not wearing any cloaks or anything right now, are
She has a small, actually both of them have small cloaks coming up their shoulders.
they?
Those
Do I
are,
recognize those cloaks?
Oh.
no, you do not.
What?
Huh.
Maybe I saw something. I don't
Huh?
know.
No.
I didn't see them last night.
I see them last night.
Okay.
Mysteries.
Also, for the record, there was nothing magic about that. Maybe he's good at reading people, but that was not magic.
Oh, Ken knows everything.
I like seeing them interact too.
Lisa, he's real good. You should see him. He can.
Caleb, are you going to go to the academy?
He could if he wanted to. He's really good at magic. He can make human disappear whatever he wants.
Really?
Aww.
A cat?
You watch as just beneath the table, this kind of orange, kind of patchy cat leaps up onto it.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Well, it is a he. This is my cat Frumpkin.
Frumpkin?
Yeah.
Frumpkin.
Oh,
Can I call him Fluffy?
You can call him Frumpkin.
You can call him
Made in England.
It's a little shade yet from her. That's good.
That's so great.
Yeah, that's not all I can do. Hey, you've done all the stuff you can do. It's really impressive.
Sometimes less is more.
I can do things too.
With magic?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like,
Not to me, not to me.
That's me.
like, oh gosh. Okay,
Actually, these both.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy, and I'm going to make all the windows in the place like open up really
Oh my
fast.
gosh, she's a mess.
Okay, you watch as four of the nearby
This
windows
is good.
slam open with a sudden burst of wind, and all the various bits of torchlight that light the deeper
Oh, no.
She is a mess.
darken and flicker. The music suddenly comes to a stop. Everyone kind of holds their position and kind of glances over the table where you're all sitting.
Does he control the music too?
It looked like he turned something up,
Okay.
man.
Profile.
A low profile, bro.
We all slam shut a second time. The light flickers and then brightens back to its normal place. Everyone.
Ta-da!
Oh shit. I love her. Aw.
See you tonight at the carnival. I'm really good.
The older guy is like early 50s, like a super underbite, probably missing most of his teeth, just goes.
I tell telepathically tell Frumpkin.
It's like anything.
12 plus 8.
So that's 20.
She totally did it. This is really hard, Sam.
Yeah, this is my only skill, guys.
This is my only skill.
But you know that's my skill too.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm gonna try to do it as well, because that's my skill. I did not notice him doing it.
Okay, yeah, so you re-roll one of the dice.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to re-roll one of my mercury too.
Yeah. So, go ahead and do it.
Oh, right.
Do I notice her?
We'll roll perception.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I like how like you can make mini, it's kind of like mini games within the D&D, but it's like the same type of like D&D
Yeah.
rules.
Okay, so the best hand you can get is 3 of
And Matt's just like watching as
You're
it goes
just like,
down.
eh.
Then after that, it's a straight,
That's good, yeah.
a high straight,
Mm-hmm.
then a low straight,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's if you get all evens, or if you get all odds.
I'm so
And
bad
then
at card
it's
games.
zero, and then it's nothing, it's just high card. Okay, but now we put in a second amount, because you can up the ante, and you get one more card. No, but wait. You can put in your money, and then I deal you a different card. You get to give some cards back, a card back, and I deal you another card.
Should I? Kevin, do you have any more? Because you saved my life yesterday, you have one more silver piece.
Aww.
Okay, I'll keep it low too, because you're only doing the one, so I only put in one silver.
It's a 4 silver pop, right?
Yes, and I'll give one of your dice back, whichever one you don't want, and roll it again.
Yeah.
Reroll.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
You can reroll on this one.
I don't want to reroll anything.
Okay.
Okay, now you show what you got. There will be
Oh, no.
wins.
I got a pair of 4s.
I got 3 5s.
I got 3 5s.
So I
I draw my short sword.
Oh
You grappled him.
Make an athletics check. You make an acrobatics.
no! Oh no!
Acrobatics?
Yep.
24.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
So, the female goblin draws a short sword. You reach out to grab it. She slips out of your grasp and is now holding the lid into the table.
You're cheating. Somehow you're cheating. No, that's fine. That's fine. She's
It's
one.
okay.
The mine's 2 silver pieces. We'll just leave it at that. We don't. I'm sorry.
Aww.
Sorry. You can understand. You know, we've been living in the woods for a long time. Every time we come here to any place like this, we're attacked, jumped,
Aw.
followed. So I apologize on behalf of I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
No.
Just don't do it again.
Yeah,
But I'm sorry I took all this money from your friend.
Let's make it worse. So just take the 2.
But
It's like they're chaotic but they're wholesome.
yeah.
Tell you what, I'll give you none of it back. I can't, that's no, okay,
No,
yes,
I insist.
Oh my god, guys.
No.
A round of trusts for both our tables, please.
See, isn't that the most fun? It's fun.
You order up, someone goes, any preference for family?
Not buckbomb.
I'm impressed that you stuck to taking that guy's money and training me.
Right?
That's,
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that bad?
Well,
well,
Well, I only learned like last night, you guys.
Oh my god.
just didn't even know she was teaching.
People took my money when I was learning.
It's fine. It's water. It's fine. It's alright.
Another round is brought to your table. Share a solemn toast to enjoying the rest of your settlers.
It's like the worst. That's a drink on me.
Oh, jeez, now I'm definitely giving you our 2 silver back. Don't worry about it, man.
Aww.
Just a couple of wild and crazy guys.
Oh my god.
Look at him.
Oh.
Have my baked goods come out
They
yet?
have.
Aww.
Presented for a while now. You've had the opportunity to eat most of your meal. That's the power of imagination, Sam. Imagination there a second ago. Rain. Right over here. So you all finish your independent meals, and decide to continue your conversations or go about your business for the day.
I just want to go to Carnival.
That's like what I got to see.
No.
If you have no business, we can wait until dusk.
Well, there's that board on the wall. Has anything new been posted on the board?
Yeah, you go ahead and take a look at it. There is one sheet that pertains to somebody in the Hills Ward looking for folks to go ahead and do an extermination run near the southern portion of the Ustalok. It looks like there is what looks to be a vole infestation.
Oh. That'd be cool if they do like a lot of the jobs that are on the board. Like Konosuba.
Yeah.
In Fairy Tale.
Fairy Tale.
What else is there?
Currently, it looks like there was another sheet that looks like most has been torn off. The rest of the board is pretty empty at the moment.
Yeah, did I hear that? I can't remember.
So you did this.
Delivery?
It was to help move and load crates at the local breweries.
We've done that. It sucked so much up.
You did that?
Well, we played D&D and we moved crates for 8 hours.
Yeah.
We did.
Welcome to level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't, however, then gamble with the other workers and then gestured. Yeah.
Well, I guess but he makes so much.
Maybe not out loud, so
Well, that's right. We probably shouldn't. We didn't make any money.
If you guys want company, do you want us to come and hang out with you today?
Aww.
That sounds risky. I don't know. You know something.
What? I shockingly think that's not a bad idea.
Aw.
So how these weirdos with us?
I can hear you.
Yes, that's a good fucking question. Did I make this? I don't make things.
No, I presume, we discussed this a little bit, we presume it may have been scavenged from a porcelain doll.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, what's her name? The creepy girl?
Annabelle?
Annabelle. No, don't say that. I don't want to see art with you with Annabelle face.
Glitter.
It seems we had all day. What were your plans?
Not much. We were going to sample the trusts, the different trusts, and I wanted to maybe do some book browsing. Nothing major.
Brewery tour!
We just have to go by the bomb box.
Yeah.
What happened with the bomb box?
There's two others.
Yeah.
They're who we loaded crates for. And then we kind of swindled their employees.
Oh, great.
Which one is the DM? The one that everybody knows has got the blessing of Frida Lange and
No, that is actually the bomb box. Yeah. Yeah, the Star Roast is kind of tied to the bomb box.
Right. We're imaginary heroes now.
The one you need.
I don't need people that we can come. The one that she is like the blessing of the big cheesecake.
Oh.
Oh. I want their mugs.
Why do you need it?
You don't need it, it's just pleasurable to have a trust, is what they say. She kind of needs it.
I need it a little bit.
You need
Tongs. Well, I prefer the harder stuff, but I'll take what I can get at this point.
No.
Yeah, I'm sticking with this fucking accent for the next 2 years.
Really? Good. The laughs.
Beer tour than circus.
But I gotta say, I miss those two people we ran into. Carnival.
I'm gonna just go for the car.
If we just, montage through the beer tour.
God.
Only get to the circus. Yeah. To the carnival.
Oh my god.
Can we just bring my book browsing down if anything of use.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll say if you guys decide to go ahead and travel, fine with you. You make your way through the town for the day. You coast around the Husseldorf family brewery. You meet Voss and June, who are the two very nice ladies who run the facility of the Husseldorf family. You avoid the Bombach, but can acquire Bombach ale from other taverns in the town, of course, and the Von Brandt family brewery. All of them, as soon as you say Trost, they correct you and say the family name. They're very intent on getting rid of the name of Trost as an overall discussion of Trost.
So when you want to rebrand something.
Like, there's an offense to the point where you're like, oh,
next to tissue paper.
yeah, a little bit. But you managed to get nice and sauced throughout the day.
I have one more in the first half of the day and one in the second.
Okay.
I don't have very much either.
Okay.
I'm gonna have
All right. Well, that being the case,
you are poisoned.
no, make Constitution saving throw.
Well, that was crazy. 12.
12. Okay.
They're making good rolls.
For a while, and as the sun begins to crawl towards the distant horizon, you do not manage to allow your meal to usurp your control. Romantic. But so as
Good times.
you're fairly tipsy. You're not fully intoxicated. For your trip, you wanted to head to the Hillsbrook Parchment Mining.
Yeah, that where I went the last time,
Correct.
except not as myself. So yeah, I'll go as myself.
Okay, go make an investigation.
Alright. Don't fucking vex. That is
That's Vax. That's Vax's dice.
yeah, the thing about even a light German accent is that when you say Vax and Vax, he's the same shit. That is the 12th.
12. You take the better part of 30 minutes or so, and you find there's a lot of books on farming techniques. There's a lot of books about how to grow, care for different types of vegetation, plants, various beasts of burden. You find books on the different seasons and what's best for different types of grain and wheat. You managed to pull through and find a couple of books that deal with discussion of the menagerie post, that talk about...
He has all this information just laid out.
It's more of a discussion of the political structure that maintains all the city-states there.
Oh.
The person who ran this place was...
I hope he gets into that.
Yeah.
Because Vox set the stage really well for politics.
A nice selection here. Do you mind if I ask? I haven't seen any other booksellers of any kind in town. I'm not really looking for anything on farming so much. Is there anywhere else I could look into?
I mean, if you're looking for some sort of library, the best book...
Perfect.
North. That's where the library of the Cobalt Soul resides. They have all the information you could hope for. Bit pricey to peruse their interior unless you have proper coverage. But unfortunately, if what we have isn't what you're looking for, I can't help you.
No, it's a fine selection. Sorry. How much for this book on bow technique?
No, Jameson soda. Yes, right. That would be 2 silver pieces.
Oh, I'm very embarrassed. I'm sorry. I gave away my last.
Oh no!
I gave away my last 2 silver. So maybe I can earn it back and come back later this week.
Please do. I will take to hold it for you.
Yes.
What's your name?
That sucks.
My name is Caleb Widowgast.
All right. I will keep it here up in the shop. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Good day. Thank you.
Is this a day shop?
It's designed almost like a cross. There's 2 cross sections, the hallways that have books across the walls, and there's a window at the end of each door in the far back.
While he was talking to the shopkeeper, I'm going to pick up as many books as I can and put them around on the shelves.
Oh
and
no.
Some of them and turn them around
Why?
Oh my god.
Go ahead and set a hand for it.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Over the period of searching and distracting this man, you have completely rearranged the interior.
Oh my gosh, she's a mess.
Someone has to watch her at all times. They need that little baby satchel thing.
You feel confident and happy, and a sensation of approval washes over you. So, okay.
You skip out the door. Okay.
You turn around from having this conversation and notice the interior is not as you last saw it, and a bit of nerves begin to brew up under you.
Drop them. Come on.
Something kind of falls up behind you. I didn't even think about that too much. Alright, so as you guys have gathered at this point, the oranges and the pinks of dusk begin to peek through the quite cloudy sky. The chilled air of the coming cold night signaling the crown star to begin lighting the hanging lanterns that line the streets across the mall. A renewed energy takes the streets. As the sound of fiddle.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Wait, how do you do? How does a fiddle sound? Like,
I don't know.
because there's the banjo is like
Sometime in the entire day when Not was getting wasted, but I have spent an hour using Arcane Recovery to gain back that one spell slot I used this morning.
Oh.
Alright. Folks begin to prod their heads out into the open air, curious about the source of this unusual din. And you find your vision capturing a small procession of flamboyantly dressed people parading through the central road. A lengthy man of some obvious elven descent leads the pack, his long, kind of ashy brown hair curling ever so slightly past his mid-back, his long coat and tails knocking around by his skipping step. Two halfling women in purple and green bodysuits dance from side to side, handing flowers to children and flyers to adults. As a bald man in a neck-frilled frock coat of bright red, his face adorned in vibrant orange makeup, looked like the setting sun behind him, plays the violin that you heard earlier in an upbeat, jovial manner. A tall half-orc with a masculine man with a well-groomed handlebar mustache that curves out to the side, billowing white silk shirt and black trousers, follows behind with a big drum slung over his shoulder going boom, boom.
He's so good at storytelling.
Of lavender skin that you saw earlier walks along with a grin, juggling two curved scimitars as he walks in place. Almost loses
As he's juggling the scimitars.
Continues to go. Families are beginning to gather out to see this display. Two dancers. A woman with the two dancers part. And then a woman of short, fiery red hair and dark skin walking between them, lifting a small candle before a giant burst. A gout of flame emerges from the front of her mouth, brightens the vicinity, and everyone collectively gasps.
I wonder if outside of D&D he's written books.
He should.
I know.
To the back of it, you see the rather burly-looking, pale woman, arms crossed, just following behind and keeping an eye like a security guard to ensure that no business gets out of hand. The gasps and the cheers begin to follow, and as the procession continues down its way, the families and civilians begin to gather and follow behind. As the last bit of the sun sets behind the mountain range, the torches glowing, the procession curves through the center of Lockwood to the edge of the Uskalok itself, through the fishing village. More folks begin to gather. Do you all follow?
Yeah.
All right.
And I cast Blessing of the Drift Throne you again, just in case.
People following the parade, you see faces eager for this fresh form of entertainment. Children laugh and chatter excitedly, while the Crown's Guard, in their familiar bronze and vermilion uniform, try to maintain order between themselves, being quite curious or visibly mistrusting of these hooligans that suddenly had usurped the evening air. The procession continues toward the eastern side, out along the southern edge of this Lockwood, to the Uskalok southern place, towards the new, completely constructed, large, dark blue tank. Lengthy streamers of white and silver flap with the cold winds from the top of the structure. As you guys walk, you watch as the horned tiefling you had pushed earlier slowly saunters up to your side. You recognize him as individuals who've spoken earlier.
I go, Molly! Molly, hey!
It's us.
I'm so glad you all came to see the show. It's great.
It's gonna blow you away.
I know.
I love it.
Oh my God.
First show around's always the best, without fail.
Oh no.
I don't know, something
There's gonna be fail.
terribly wrong.
I'm always partial in front. Okay, then you're right in it. If something goes wrong, it's nothing between you and whatever terrible, bloody mess is going to happen. It's just the best.
What?
Nothing, you're fine.
Nothing, it's fine.
It's gonna be great, but before you go in, I do have to give you guys a pat down because you can't go in with any weapons.
Oh.
This when a voice rings out behind you, you see it as the Colonel Gustav.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, I don't know.
Steve, quick, you need to go ahead and set up. Looks like we're already having quite a few people decided to come here. So
I feel like he makes them part of it.
Yeah.
Like, makes them part of the show.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, you remember We're Back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting those vibes.
Your patron enters, he spins around and addresses the whole crowd now. Says, enjoy the night here, walk slowly. In just a moment to supper. And the half-elf man kind of bows and tips his large, it looks almost like a top hat, but it's floppy towards the top and flaps forward and puts it back on top and begins sauntering, singing the music, but picking up their pace to get ahead of the crowd as they draw you all slowly towards the exterior tent. And that's going to go to the
And they're gonna break here.
Okay, so that's where we stop, yeah.
You're gonna make us break here. Okay, so I'm getting major We're Back vibes.
Yes.
Like, if you've ever seen that movie, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like one of the most iconic movies in my life because I love it. There is a scene that's kind of like a circus scene.
Yeah.
And while this is more like they're at a carnival and there's like a circus going, so it's like I don't know if they're gonna like be part of it.
That's what I'm curious if that's gonna be the whole plot where they end up joining and it's just like the shenanigans within it.
Yeah.
That's where I see it going. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I see an adventure happening, but I feel like maybe like the circus will screw everybody over or something, and then like he even loses his job. But like I'm scared because it seems like when they're like, oh, leave your weapons here.
That's the thing.
And
It's
then he's
like without the elderly and then sick, so you know it's not going to be a peaceful.
No,
it's not going to be you're sitting down and seeing cute things happen. No, it's going to be.
What if
like
it's
chaos.
like fighting to the death? Like
that's what
that's
the
in
vibes
some kind of
I'm
like
getting.
Coliseum,
Yeah.
and then they have to get. I don't know, because I definitely see this where it's like this is happening for a reason, and then because how like we've seen even with Vox, the way Matt kind of like tells the story is like there'll be some kind of issue. But then they'll go forward for the issue, but then it kind of like goes back in a full circle. So it's like there's a reason that the circus/carnival exists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's just for entertainment. Because they can't just be like, oh, this is just where his character is coming from, and this is where like Tiefling number 2 is coming. So it's like I don't know if we're gonna get it where it's like this is half the plot, or it's gonna be like basically they ruin it, or kind of like Bug's Life too. Remember Bug's Life? That's the other thing too.
His character specifically reminds me so much of. I don't remember his name in Bug's Life.
The flea.
The little flea.
Yes.
Guy. So
it's
much
like
of
Bug's
him.
Life and We're Back vibes mixed together, and I'm like,
especially because they're all like chaotic, like how Bug's Life is. It's like you think they're put together, but then when you actually learn the characters,
it's kind of like telling the story of the bugs before they join with Flick and everything. It's like that would be amazing if this is where we're going.
I mean, their characters have to stay on, so you know the circus is going to be involved. Unless they do end up switching characters. I don't know how that works in like this campaign.
Feel like these are main casts. I feel like this is definitely the people that we're going to, like he said, we're going to do this, her voice like that for the next 2 years. Which is amazing. But I feel like, there's a reason that the circus is involved. Like, it's like the biggest setting. They were like within their like tavern and everything, but it's like the setting is going to definitely be next.
What's going to happen. I'm concerned though, because just because the flyer said that
there's going to be crime or something.
I don't know.
It might, because Matt keeps mentioning something about politics, and when it comes to like the politics and everything, it's like there might be some kind of weird thing going on where this is like a form of entertainment for people. Yeah. I don't know, but oh my god, he is absolutely brilliant.
All of them.
I know.
All of them are, because like he is a brilliant storyteller, but they're also great actors.
Yes.
So like together, it just makes this. It's the comedy of this.
Yeah, I know.
All of them have something about them that's so unique and like outside of like their actual personality, which is so great to see.
I like the vibe that they don't they didn't know what their characters were going to be, and they kind of have a reaction with, oh, this is who you are. And because I don't know how their session 0 was, I don't think they did an episode with that, so it's like, I don't know if the session was just like them going over with Matt who their character is going to be, so Matt might know. Yeah. But like, which, he is the DM, so obviously. But like, everybody else in the cast is like, reacting to Sam's character and everyone else. I'm like, oh my god.
Sam is so funny.
I know.
He makes it.
He really does.
They all are great, but there's something about Sam.
He just stands out. It's his comedy.
Yeah.
It's the thing is though with all of this is, we're gonna need what would help us, because I think this is a very interactive type of experience that we also want to learn. And this is gonna be a weekly series that we do reactions to, but we want to do more with it. If there's any printables or there's any like follow-alongs for the story, that would help us immensely. So we can like hold it and study it and everything, and kind of like learn what they're doing. I don't know if this series that we should definitely be taking notes on, but there might be notes on their website.
Yeah, everyone was saying like in our last time we talked about this, like, they're like, you guys don't need to take notes. You guys have us in the comment section.
That's
so
true.
if you see us missing something, like just comment in our YouTube, or like join our Discord and like tag us, say like, hey guys, remember this, like stuff like that, like, because we could take notes, but if you guys think that we don't need to based on what your comments were saying,
the thing is, I definitely want to make it more interactive. Where it's like if we have the notes or whatever, we ask you questions at the end, basically, so just we don't forget. But if there's any like printables or something that we can like have during the entire, because it's like an hour 30 minutes, so it's like usually what we're gonna give or take do per week. So, and we're not doing it fast motion, because if we do it in fast motion, I think we'd definitely miss out on a lot. Especially if they talk fast too. I feel like if there's something that we could use to follow along, so it's more than just a reaction, we could print things out. We would definitely need, and this is gonna be pinned on comments, or we're gonna have it on our phone or iPads or whatever. Names, stats, their levels, because they show when they roll. It's like when Jester rolled, it was like level 2. Here's a stat. We need names, stats, anything about the characters that might be very important. Town names, whereabouts, because like when you're doing reactions, everything, you're like absorbing all this information, but at the same time it's like I would love to like kind of have that on hand,
just in case.
Because this is honestly outside of all the other reactions that we do, like compared to Naruto, compared to Dragon Ball, it's like anime and even like shows are very differently directed than a D&D campaign, because in between the D&D is like, they're acting. And I love how with Matt, he is very patient as a DM, and he's like that's why I like when DMs, when they have a story to tell, but they're very patient with their cast.
You have to be.
Yes.
Because it's literally like a classroom if you think about it, because like people can get like rowdy, and he's just like waiting. He's like,
but then he knows, I like how the chemistry works with him. He knows when to keep the story on. Because I've noticed something on some campaigns, like even like some like newer ones, older ones, whatever it is, you'll hear where it's like you have your cast, and then the cast will be asking the DM questions. Some people might get pissed off at that, which shouldn't happen because chemistry is everything. Or it'll be like you have the cast like kind of like talking amongst each other, asking those questions, or keep talking. Matt doesn't go and interrupt anybody. If he knows when the pause happens, there's no awkward pauses. There's no nothing where it's like, oh, you guys done. He just knows how his cast works. He knows when to step in. It's like in a way, it's like he has like the switch where it's like, I don't know, if Travis is doing something and there's a pause, he'll come right back in and be like, okay, I'm going to go and like say and add on to it. And he gives them time to kind of have that interaction, which matters, and the exploration of the world around them. Because I feel like the importance of that as a DM, you should be very patient with everybody, because
especially because they're also telling the story. I feel like a lot of DMs want the story to go like a specific way. So if a character isn't like talking, if the character's not talking enough, or a character is talking too much, the DM might be like, hey, like this is not how I saw the story.
Exactly.
But as a DM, it's literally everyone's story. Like yes, you are the storyteller, but it is exactly, it is collaborative.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of like that is their character, that is their baby. So let the character grow as the player grows.
Something I appreciate, because we have as you guys know, we have our role play that we've had for since we were, I didn't even know how long.
Babies.
We were children. And as it has expanded and like has changed over all the years, I appreciate seeing how they interact with each other, where it's like they'll talk with each other, but then they'll also act out their character. So it's not just like forced acting, you know? It's not scripted. It's literally a live stream where they're themselves, and then they say, oh, question DM. So it's like, it's not over the top like extra, where in terms of like they have to act, so it's them, you tell it's them, and then it's your job to kind of listen to their feedback as they are acting. But then in a way it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall when they get out of character, and then they go and they say like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, and they have to roll the dice and everything. So that's why I like how the storytelling of D&D goes, because it's not all about, oh, you stay in character and that's it. Because with that doesn't feel extremely natural. That just feels as if like it could be better, you know? So I feel like with this, the way they're doing it is beautiful. Because, like, we've seen some, like, D&D campaigns before, and it's like it's something just feels there's not chemistry, you know. When there's not chemistry in the cast, or there's not chemistry with the characters, it just doesn't seem to work. And they all respect each other. You know, they're like making jokes, cracking jokes. Say, "Oh, can I say an inside joke?"
They all know each
like,
other, so
yeah,
it's like, yeah.
And it's like they know how to act, but it's like, even though like they've done so many different like, imagine with Caliph and Bo. What's her name? Bo something. Yeah. Totally different characters.
Yeah.
And
completely.
she's so good. She's so
good at it.
At capturing both.
So
and it's like it's amazing because they are very attached to those characters, but they can also portray people completely different from even them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like when you are acting or you are, you know, doing like even reviews, reactions, or you're doing like this writing, anything, any form of storytelling, any form of media like that, you want to be comfortable where it's like you go outside the box for each character that you may have. And it's like they could be completely different from you. They could be a character that's like very similar to you, but I always like, you know, when we're giving writing advice, is like don't try to make them too similar to you.
Then it's just retelling
like you can honestly like if you have an issue and there's like problems you want to get through in life, you could use like if you're like, I don't know, you're being bullied in school and then you want to write a story about someone getting bullied. It's an outlet for you that you can then kind of have your role play or D&D campaign to have those characters have those struggles that you do, but don't make your characters you. Because if you do, then it's gonna just
retelling.
It's retelling what you're going through, and it's like it's kind of in a way not making you go out your comfort zone. They go out their comfort zone.
Yeah, and I think D&D or like role play in general is like because we're huge on dialogue and stories. Like I feel like that's like the number one thing you want when you're a writer. You want to make sure your characters sound natural. I think role playing and like D&D and all this stuff, like record yourself if you're ever in like a session or if you're like role playing with your friends or whatever. Record the dialogue because you're not gonna have the descriptive parts as much. And then, you know, keep that for your book or whatever you're writing, and then go back and add the description after you have, like, that natural dialogue. Because, like, the biggest thing with characters, as you see in, like, this, is it's so natural. And a lot of books and, like, media lack that natural dialogue, especially, like, shows on Netflix. We always go back to this, like, shows on Netflix, they don't really have that natural dialogue. I feel like if the actors or, like, the writers who were writing the scripts actually role played before they were writing like everything, they would have like more of that natural dialogue.
Another thing is setting stage. Setting the stage is so important. That's exactly what Matt does. Like he kind of he has his written story out. He has the world. He's absolutely brilliant at world building. Definitely want to see if he has written anything else like outside of like Critical Role.
Yeah, because he's really good.
I know he said that he's created a race and class for D&D Beyond. But if there's anything else that he's done, I'd love to check out his stuff because he's absolutely amazing. Yeah. We have a lot of ground to cover per week for this campaign. Obviously. I mean, they said for 2 years, so
so we're probably
gonna be like 2 years or more. I feel like setting the stage is so important, and it's in a way it's kind of getting like the big course meal and then adding on to it, and they do that perfectly because it is all dialogue based, and like their advantage is like they are acting it out, so they talk to each other. It's not just written prose. And as much as I love writing and kind of prose itself, a lot of like the best ones that you can kind of have is the ones that you can read aloud, the ones that your characters by acting them out. And it's like that's why people that do like voice acting or people that do acting and then they go and do writing, why their stuff is usually brilliant is because they know dialogue. So it's like how Matt does it, but he gives them what to work with and says like, here's the world, here's the tavern, here's the carnival, here's this, and he does the NPC so well. It's like it's his job really to move everyone forward. And if you don't know how to do that, it's like maybe you'll be better as a cast member, but like he literally moves the story forward. Because if they have a question, he has to go and answer it like a teacher, but then he has to move it forward by like, okay, this is my world. And even if it's like, the goal for him is he has probably like everything written down and like the world's like kind of built as it is. But if like, let's say if they were out of character or something and they changed something, he has to on the spot come up with something just so it makes sense. So like that's why it's brilliant.
Yeah, you have to pay attention when you play D&D. Everyone has to. But the cast, one thing it's like damn.
The cast, especially like when we've done certain things with D&D before, it's like when you don't pay attention or you miss one detail, you're gonna have to ask the questions, which then can honestly it's like that's why I like how Matt does it, where it's like he is very patient and again he says like, oh, here's your question, I'm gonna answer it. And he waits for them to get comfortable with it. But I love the characters. I know Jester's probably wandering off somewhere. She's already causing problems. She's definitely one of the. She's like very airheaded and like woo, but like wholesomely airheaded, And it's like I like how this cast is gonna work with each other. Like Sam's character and was it Calum?
Yeah.
They are literally so cute because was it starts with an F, right? His character's name. Write everybody's names out. We're gonna by episode 2 we'll know everyone's names. But it's like kind of in a way they bonded with each other because supposedly she saved his life.
Yeah.
And I like
how she talks about him.
I know she's very like protective of him and like very like, oh, he could do this, he could, because I get vibes that his character seems to be very lost and insecure. Lost in it. Oh my god, shut up. It's like very like lost and insecure a little bit. It's like very just kind of like, I was always maybe like this lone wolf outside of just having my cat, which I love the cat by the way. Frumpkin. But it's like, what I like is like knowing that as that duo, it's like she's very like, oh, I'm gonna brag about you and this and this. So it's like I'm scared for, because I don't know if anyone dies within Matt's
That's the thing.
campaigns.
I don't know how that works. And I know this is gonna be emotional though. Eventually, like once the story starts progressing, I feel
Vox.
like exactly. So I know there's like the comedy and like the interaction right now, but I feel like as the story progresses, it's gonna be
because that's the thing too is like, whenever you see characters have a bond with each other, whether they're a duo or not,
I always get concerned. Red flags all the time.
Especially when it's like, like there's a little character and someone to be like kind of like protect them and or vice versa.
Even if it's just separation for a little bit, I feel like that's gonna be
So because you can tell they bonded with each other, and it's gonna be. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if anyone does die, I don't know if anyone dies within Matt's campaign.
Why are we talking about this in episode 1 already?
I don't know because we are scarred by like things like Berserk and everything, and it's like I want to get everything out there before we go and say like, oh, everything's gonna be good and happy. It's like, no, this is Matt Mercer's mind. You saw Vox, okay?
Exactly.
It's not gonna be like that. But no, just to let you guys know, like, other than this, like, again, we want to know names, like classes, everything about the characters that you think is important to progress the story, places that they are. If you guys want to comment and say we are here and now, if there's a map, which there probably is, fan art, anything that you want to send.
Spoiler free.
Obviously spoiler free. If there's anything else we should hold during the whole thing, because we'll even print out what you guys, like your comments, to kind of remember certain things. Because I think the thing is, D&D is so interactive, we should also be interactive, not just like sitting here just reacting, which is, it's fun, but at the same time, I feel like for us, we can have even more fun where like, oh, that's what they look like now, and oh, okay, this is their stat, and possibly following along as we go, and then checking with you guys if we're right or not, but yeah, oh my god.
It's brilliant. I'm so happy that you guys convinced us to do this.
Honestly,
this is brilliant.
The thing is, why I'm happy is, it's weird, because years ago when I used to stream on Twitch, and everyone was always like, oh, you should do Critical Role, like, reactions. I'm like, no, I never did. And I tried doing a campaign on there. It didn't really work out. And then from there, it was like, even in our like tag comments for years, even when I was just doing gaming, it would always be Geek and Sundry and then Critical Role. And I'm just like, why is this popping up? After like 5 years, okay, or whatever, how many years, like, why is this popping up? And then now that we're doing this, I'm just like, I think it's time. I think God was just like, now's the time to do this. But it's like, it's always been somehow in our path, like we've even like it pop up on like our timeline for like the actors and this and that. We'd hear people talk about it. I would always be confused with the names because I was like, okay, is Vox the company or is Critical Role the company? And it's like it would always somehow pop up on our feed, and obviously like All Ages of Geek is within the space, but it's like it's amazing that after all these years we finally get to do this, because as you know, when it comes to our reactions, we want to get very, very into the characters, into the plot, into the story, and because this one was, and also let us know if you want us to skip over sponsors. I mean, I
think we should. I mean, for the first episode, we didn't do that just because it's like brand new. But I think for the next few episodes, we're gonna just start when they actually start the actual campaign.
But it's overall, I'm just like I'm just happy that we're doing this. It's about time that we did this. I know there's like some reactors that like just kind of like. They do it in a different way, but like I hope you guys are fine with like the follow-alongs. We're just like supporting.
And if you have any other ways that you want to see us do this, like if you have like, oh, this is a better suggestion, give us all the suggestions, please, because we're open to anything.
Because honestly, it's like for us, it's like it makes it feel more natural when this is just here instead of like editing on. It also helps it like get out faster, but also copyright. So it's like for us, we prefer to do it this way. But if you want me to move Vegeta,
but if there's like anything in specific that you
like
see
specifically move Vegeta, make this brighter, make it a little louder, like that kind of stuff. Just let us know, because it's like we want to just make sure that we're like following the guidelines of their copyright, but also like making sure we support the original release as well. But also their sponsors that they got very interesting. Might check out some of them because that's really cool. Especially the table one.
That table's beautiful. Like damn.
When he started smelling it, I'm like, yes. Exactly. It probably smells beautifully like crisp. Like like that crisp like lumberjack scent.
Anyway, I think this reaction's over.
Anyway, my friends, if you would like the uncut version, be sure to check us out on patreon.com/allagesofgeek. You get hours and hours worth of content on there. We make a lot of, reactions because we want to make sure if anyone's lonely out there or needs some friends to react with, we are here to provide that content for you. We're literally just two sisters on a couch that we just make sure people laugh or get a different view on things. We also like to talk about very important things. So that's why I'm very intrigued about how Matt's going to go and do certain things within the world, because things might be very adult and chaotic, and we might want to talk more about that. We've to give an example, we do SAO reactions, and that got very adult last discussion. We just did the Exorcist movie, and that got very adult. So it's we have a lot of things that we want to talk about that a lot of people kind of avoid on the internet, but we just want to make sure that you guys are having fun, and if you want to check it out, you not only support us, but you get hours worth of content, and it's always fun. We have, like you were saying, I had no idea we did 30
Yeah, me either, until someone told us that.
Who told us that?
Dark Matter.
What'd he say?
It's you guys have 32 animes or reactions. Nice. Take a break. Also, join our Discord, because we're opening a D&D section soon. Well, it's kind of open, but we're having campaigns of people in our Discord server that they're going to run. So if you're interested in joining a game or just interacting with people who do love D&D, join us.
We'd love to see you there, and actually we'd love to see the campaigns as well. That's what I'm excited for.
I think there's 4 or 5 coming out. So sign up should be soon. So if you do want to join those, definitely join now.
No, I personally just like the fact that when people want to do D&D campaigns, they kind of have reached out and said oh, we do this, because I want to see it, because we had a few things open before, but I want to see how you guys do DMing, because we can also learn from that, but also from your perspective, you get to bond with other people, and in the server alone, it keeps the server active, but also gives us a reason to read your work, because that's always fun.
Please join.
And you'll probably get an invitation in the comments. So
I will send you a personal invite. Okay.
Anyway, guys, be sure to subscribe, this is going to be weekly. We have a lot of other fun things, too. Our website is basically under construction right now, but we're going to be, doing a lot more things to provide content for anybody who needs a friend. That is basically what we do here, because, honestly, there's too much shit going on in the world, and we want to provide a safe space where you guys can just interact and have fun, but also make it in a way where it's interactive, to the point where it's you feel we're actually people, and it's not.
We are people. We're not aliens.
Because the thing is, I've seen some reactions where it's just everyone thinks, oh, we're famous and this and that. I'm just I just sitting on a couch with you guys and watching stuff. Yeah. We're not saying that we're big time people. No,
we're not even influencers.
I don't think that's the thing. That's a huge discussion that we usually always have. Is we're not influencers. We're just people that want to learn about things like D&D, get into different media. At heart, we are writers, but it's we want to learn about the different media and take notes on that and discuss it with you guys, and then help people as much as possible. And if you are a writer or somebody that is kind of into D&D, and you have a project that you're working on and you'd like to be interviewed, please let us know. You can do so on Discord or Twitter, and we'd love to hear from you, because we just love supporting people. We know how it is. We have our own projects that we're working on, and getting support means the world. So especially nowadays, a lot of people just don't like to support each other. You can tell that they do. They literally shouted out everyone.
That was
and
cute.
that
I
is
really
something you don't see.
Yeah.
And it's as long as it took with the huge stacks that she had, it's just knowing that there are people that say I want to go and support someone like this. It's it means a lot, because there's not enough like that in the world. But anyway, friends, have been amazing. Stay weird, stay wonderful, stay awesome. Until next video, Frank, off my fan person every single day. Bye.